Science says that plants are living, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Hinduism says that we should not eat meat, but we eat plants.
Mm-hmm.
But doesn't that now contradict the science aspect of that?
Hinduism, you see, you must understand, it's a very profound question. Dharma and adharma, which is wrongful action, and dharma is the righteous action. First you must understand that according to Hinduism, the whole cosmos is God's manifestation. God has transformed himself into the cosmos. God is not outside the cosmos, God is both outside the cosmos and inside the cosmos, everywhere, all pervading, and everything, the microphone, the chair, the ant, not just living things, but non-living things also. Matter, electron. An electron is not a separate thing with its own existence. It is God that has turned itself into each and every little particle. Yeah? Nothing, the analogy given is like there's an ocean and there are billions of waves, little teeny waves. And each wave comes, lives for a little while, goes away. But the wave does not have a separate existence from the ocean. You cannot take a wave and click and drag it out of the ocean. The wave is the ocean's own form. Ocean modulated, modified into this wave, that wave, that wave, that wave. Yeah? So the ocean is modifying itself into billions of waves at any moment in time. And some waves are coming, some waves are going, some waves are moving. So God, which in our case Brahman, is becoming trillions and trillions of different entities at every moment in time. Every entity is in fact nothing but that. Every single thing that exists is nothing but that. And these entities, therefore, are nothing but forms of God. And so they don't have a separate existence. You cannot say an electron exists by itself independently of anything else in the world and independently of God, because it does not have a... You cannot imagine a wave having an existence if there's no ocean. It is the ocean's form. So once you understand this principle, then the interesting thing is that not only plants are God's form and animals are God's form, but even dust and even bacteria and even rock and even Bin Laden is God's form. Even the thief is God's form. That's true. So all the forms are God's forms, but these forms occupy the whole spectrum of existence, from good and bad, or the whole spectrum of existence. And from exceedingly unconscious, like an electron or rock, to little modest, some kind of life sensation like plants have, to little more like ants, to little more like mammals and man. So there's a whole spectrum of consciousness, from unconscious to fully conscious and so on. And there's a whole spectrum of kind of creature, kind of person, kind of being it is. Yeah? So the Hindu cosmology is very vast and very fascinating, and I'm also in this book explaining this in a summarized, brief way. You should take a look at that. Now, what is righteous for human beings to eat is a question of what are the available choices and what's the least harm I can do. So the principle is least harming. Not that I cannot eat a living thing, but what's the least harm I can do. Yeah? So if there's two choices, I pick the one with less harm over the one with more harm among the choices. So when a tiger eats a deer, it's not violating Dharma, because its metabolism, its biochemistry, the way its DNA is built, it cannot live as a vegetarian. It cannot. And the tiger's righteous Dharma is that it eats meat. That is absolutely righteous you don't say that the tiger is doing some bad thing by eating meat, because that is what the tiger is designed to do. When a snake swallows a little mouse, swallows it up and eats it, that is the snake's Dharma. That's the only way a snake can survive. He cannot eat carrot juice. He cannot do that. So when the volcano erupts and lots of creatures die, or when asteroid hits and dinosaurs die, or when there's an earthquake or a tsunami and a lot of destruction is killed, destruction happens. It is not that those entities that seem to be doing all these things are doing something evil or immoral or dharmic or negative. The nature has built-in destruction, built-in dissolution, built-in death, so birth, sustenance and dissolution are all part of the nature of this cosmos. Yeah? And the creatures that need to live off of other entities are part of this nature, part of the way the cosmos is built. Now, our dharma is to understand our circumstances and make the right choices for minimizing harm to anyone. That is our dharma. So there's nothing unscientific about eating plants. There's nothing unscientific about having to cause harm when it is less than the harm from other choices. So you kill Bin Laden, you have harmed him, right? But you've harmed him to save the harms on 20,000 people if he were alive and allowed to do that. So you have actually taken the path of the minimum harm that you have to do in order to save bigger harm. You see? This is why Arjun in the Gita is asked to go and kill those guys, because they are like the Bin Laden of that time. This is why somebody has to go and fight Hitler. Why in Ramayana Ravan has to be killed. So it's because, see, people often misinterpret the word ahimsa. They say non-violence. And Gandhi practiced ahimsa. Actually it means minimization of harming. Firstly, it's not just violence in the physical sense. Ahimsa also applies to, harming somebody's culture, reputation. It's not just physical, it could be emotional. That's also, harm. And to be ahimsa, you may have to kill as part of being ahimsa, because not doing it might cause more damage. You see? So responsible choice under dharma involves taking life of something or other, could be a plant at times.